eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Let's talk. It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations. Protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Golemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understanding they like. But their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Lomosians, for instance. Though Admiral Merlwyb outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. And likewise, the Gridanians are marked as hermits, who talk to trees, and Uldans scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldan's society, Teleji Adeleji, for example. But that is besides the point. The fact is that the people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them with something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. But enough talk. Let's speak. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the Observatorium, that's what it is. Observatorium. That's also what astronomers who are more successful tend to run, an observatorium. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, he has deemed the one he deemed the most likely candidate has lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, then. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adler's Nest. He's gonna show us down an elevator shaft and then trap us in signals. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest, and he will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send a word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Aline Royale, Rabal's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flame, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm has had to be seen to believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the general himself, of course. When he informed the Grand Company, Raban chose people based on their worth. Since they hailed was of no interest. The monetarists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has had some hold over the monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Rael's presence here. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the immortal flames in the absence of Flame General. While Raban attended the Council of the Alliance leaders, he should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless. On some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men crawling the Flames records for evidence of Rael's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. Yet all that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely on your eyes, Scion? Of course. You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. Rael is heading in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. So Rael has entered the Carline Canopy, meeting someone perchance. Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she is not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Fermi is her name. I shall remain here in case Roline reappears. I have a feeling that Roline is probably doing the exact same thing that we are. And she's looking for suspicious people. What I think is going on. Benway, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Mayhap she retired to her room? Or because she's down there, maybe she slipped out here and realizing that she's being followed, slipped over there and around somewhere. She says she didn't see anyone. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you're sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the Seven Hills could have she gone? The Roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some moon toy tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are Shinobi of Doma. Oh, the woman you seek has left Britannia by way of the West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured we shall continue to support you in the shadows. Thank the 12 of the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royal would have disappeared without a trace. As you can see, we are very competent. We are the most competent people ever. Now Hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Zion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You doubtless wish to take certain precautions. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. This way, my friends. Imagine if we just gave the Domans, like, really thick Japanese accents. Like, I'd have to, like, actually go and research what Japanese accents, like, actually sound like, so it doesn't just sound like racism. Alright, your query makes for the Hawthorne Hut. If Royale is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distance. Well, our ingenious friends over at Garlemald Ironworks had provided us with a device which disrupts these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we've made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royal would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, all as a well-known face of the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about the Thunelon without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for a clandestine meeting. The Elezen are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with the mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Unfortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Royale in the act. Alright, Lady Yugiri, what you got? My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Path. The ivy returns to the gnarls whence she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friend. Just beyond, Royale is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An Imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it, with me. Blame Marshal Aline Royale. You are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed? You bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely guard for battle. If you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? Last I looked, that was no crime. Neither was conversing with passing strangers. You feign ignorance, then. Well, very well. You do think to say something. You do think of something to say. There'll be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I will take you, or I will make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I am not to hide. Even a warrior of Roral's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils will entwine around the immortal flames, that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap, then the people of Ul'dah will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Fen? So the Scions seek a way to into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, if you have been training in the art of the shinobi, have you not? The change in your bearing is quite evident. To me, at least. I look forward to seeing you in action. Till next time, my friend. Welcome back, Ben. My understanding is that Alpha now had a task for you. That's what it was. Charges of treason and espionage against Aline Royale? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Oh, good. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctum of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystal she stole from House Fontane's caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about a second coming for their patron saint. But if, and as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of some kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Aethernet and follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetherite to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetherite upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Yoriange, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution. Which is why we have called upon the aid of those who which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise. A colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I'm certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. We just had, like, conniptions for half a second, like, oh yeah, it's...
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Charlian scholar and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Charlian to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits, and nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Urianger, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on. Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it, then, your missing aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous! Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
You know, except for us being the one who dies. Hey, you know, maybe they can revive us. I've already informed Alpino of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeder described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, and that I have faith that you will return to us, as you always have. Oops.